You're watching WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT. We're about to hit 12:30.
Investigators are going through what's left of a northern Kentucky warehouse this midday. They're trying to figure out what started a fire that destroyed the business.
A ferocious fire in the downtown area. Standard Supply Company in Maysville caught fire last night. Huge flames could be seen for miles. WKYT's Lauren Miner has talked to the business owner, and she is in Maysville now with our top story at 12:30.
What you're looking at behind me is the aftermath of a fire that tore through a warehouse around 8 last night. Investigators are on scene this morning, still trying to determine what exactly caused the fire. The Maysville Fire Department received the call around 7:30 last night that the warehouse was up in flames. Luckily, they were able to put out the fire before it spread to other warehouses nearby. The owner of the warehouse, Jim Finch, was walking around earlier this morning taking a look at the damage. He said that the building had previously been used as an old tobacco storage warehouse. He bought the building in the early 80s and now uses it as a maintenance building. He told us that the building was not hooked up to power and locked up and secure during the time of the fire.
So I want to brag on the Maysville Fire Department and the EMS for their service and the fine job they did containing the fire, and they saved probably the east end of Maysville by containing this fire as quick as they did. They did a wonderful job, and I'm really proud of it.
We also spoke with the fire chief of the Maysville Fire Department, who says the fire is still under investigation. He says as of right now, there is no obvious reason on why the fire would have started. Reporting in Maysville, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Lauren, thank you. The Maysville Fire Department says no one was inside the warehouse when that fire started and ripped through it.
A part of North Broadway in Lexington is closed this midday for a crash investigation. Now, this is a live look at the scene. The two-car crash is near 12th Street. We don't know the seriousness of the injuries, but police say North Broadway might be closed for about another 30 minutes, so keep it in mind.
A lieutenant with the Lexington Fire Department has been cited on animal cruelty and criminal trespassing charges. According to court documents, Lieutenant Brian Moscow is accused of shooting and killing his neighbor's dog while on the neighbor's property on Whitlock Road off Tates Creek Road in rural Madison County. WKYT News has confirmed Lieutenant Moscow is currently on administrative duty. His next court appearance is scheduled for October 24th. The four-year-old twin boys who were killed in a Knott County house fire have been identified now. The coroner says Marcus and Jonathan Waddles died early Friday morning. Their stepfather, their mother, and another child were able to escape. Kentucky State Police arson investigators are looking at possible electrical problems as being the cause of the fire.
Investigators are not ready to say how a missing Central Kentucky woman died. 22-year-old Desiree Sparks disappeared last week in Danville. Her body was found over the weekend in Lincoln County. People who found her said she was naked and had something tied around her neck. When she disappeared, Danville police said she might have left home on Citation Drive with a man in a dark-colored SUV. Lexington police are asking for help solving a weekend murder. They say 18-year-old Nathaniel McNeely was shot during a large party on Unity Drive off Red Mile Road. Police are still looking for witnesses to come forward. If you have information, you can text a tip. Start your message with Lexington Police and send it to crimes or 274-637. You could get a reward for your information.
A man and a child walked away from a crash that killed a woman in Magoffin County. It happened on Kentucky 114 near Salyersville. State police say Ellis Roark crashed his truck. His passenger, Leah Roark Gross, was killed. State police say a young child was also involved in that wreck.
An Indiana man was killed in an early morning crash in Lexington. It happened on Manowar at Sarin Drive. Police say 60-year-old William Edwards was speeding when he ran off the road. He died at UK Hospital. No one else was hurt in the crash.
One person has been killed in a stabbing near the University of Louisville. Police say it appears two men were fighting with knives in an alley. Both were taken to the hospital where one of them died. Police have not said how the other person is doing this afternoon or if any charges will be filed. A huge merger is in the works between two outdoor gear giants. Brass Pro Shops wants to take over Cabela's in a $4.5 billion deal. Cabela's just opened its first store in Lexington back in March. Bass Pro's CEO says he hopes to continue to grow the Cabela's brand alongside his own chain. It's not clear how many jobs could be lost in the merger. Hundreds gathered in Lexington over the weekend to walk and roll and raise money for those battling spina bifida. October is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. This was the third year for the walk. Now, Barbara here served as this year's MC and was quite the trooper. And here in a second, we're going to show her taking one for the team. She allowed herself to be hit in the face with a pie. This is going to be coming up. All to raise money for a good cause. I don't know, maybe we don't have the video of that, but it's quite fun. We'll put it on our website.
You will just have to imagine what it was like. It was a big
We showed
thing
it on the 10
put
o'clock.
thing.
I guess the video's lost.
But I love going to that. Great people there. And I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Even getting hit in the face. It was a great experience.
Well, picking up an insurance plan is so hard for some Americans. You may not believe what some say they would prefer to do instead.
The results from a new study when WKYT returns.
Looks like the rest of the work week, pretty straightforward forecast. It's going to look good, but it's going to get a little bit warmer. And not only that, we do have a rain chance somewhere in that 7-day. I'll show you where that lies coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking across the way, sitting there in the 70s in many locations. It's actually a really nice feel outside. We're there at 70 degrees back toward eastern Kentucky and Moorhead and Rowan County. That is the 801 corridor, the overpass of I-64. Things look well. Lexington, I'm not seeing any problems whatsoever as you're walking out the door for the rest of the afternoon. We're actually in the low to mid 70s when we finish off the day. So a really nice fall day. There's not much going on, and once we travel off into the evening hours, it actually looks really nice. You're talking 7, 8 p.m., upper 60s to roughly 70 degrees. It's great patio weather. You'll absolutely love it. Let's talk about your day there on Tuesday off into your Wednesday. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s, and some locations may reach 80 degrees. Look at Somerset. Go down toward the Cumberland region, work your way southbound into the Howard Rogers Parkway too. Those are areas that could reach 80 degrees. So it's going to be a little bit warmer. It's much warmer than what we dealt with last week and off into your weekend, but it's getting better. It's getting drier in the next few days. No rain chances there for tomorrow. Off towards your Wednesday. Wednesday's just the same. I mean, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're all the same. All 4 of those days look virtually the same. I don't see much of an issue in terms of any rain chances. So if you're heading out to the ball fields, maybe out to the parks, whatever it may be, looks pretty good. 80 degrees there in Lexington by Wednesday afternoon. Then we get up toward Thursday. Like I said, it's pretty much the same. Friday, upper 70s, lower 80s. We got the big fall meet kicking off for Keeneland on Friday. And sun and cloud mix there on Friday. It stays dry. Some dry air. Here's what's happening. So Hurricane Matthew, what's going to happen is it hits toward the eastern seaboard. And when it arrives close to the Carolinas, it's going to be roughly Saturday, okay? So on Saturday is when we expect a front to roll through. That's why we have that small chance of rain there in the forecast on Saturday. But the problem with that is that Matthew, or actually it helps us out, Matthew being over toward the eastern seaboard is going to throw some dry air toward us and steal all the moisture. So this front that rolls through there for the weekend is mainly going to be a mainly dry front, but it's going to be a chilly one. 65 degrees there on Saturday. And Sunday coming in at 67 degrees. That's going to be pretty chilly. You got to remember at noontime with clouds overhead, you may be 58, 59 degrees there by noontime on Saturday. I know it's a ways away. We have plenty of time to see if it's going to rain or if it's not. But nonetheless, we're definitely seeing a cold front sometime around that time.
Man, I love that horse right beside you.
Yeah,
that was really exciting.
Cool. It's
I love
powerful graphic right there.
Well, it looks good, and it's going to be a great meet. You know, one way or the other. You do the best you can with the weather, but it looks good this week.
It's always a great time there.
You got it.
Always.
There is new data on Americans' discomfort with picking a health insurance plan, and are children treated with alternative medicine less likely to be vaccinated for flu.
Danielle Nottingham has details in this Better Living report.
A new study in pediatrics suggests children who take vitamin supplements or are treated by a chiropractor are less likely to receive flu vaccines. Doctors say the data points out the need for cooperation between healthcare practitioners to increase flu vaccinations. New research from the University of Buffalo suggests confusion around end-of-life paperwork may result in more emergency care than elderly people want or need. Doctors are urging older patients to make their end-of-life care decisions clear so doctors can provide treatment in line with their wishes. And a survey by a major American insurer suggests nearly half of Americans questioned would prefer talking with an ex or walking across hot coals to picking out a health care plan. Almost 3/4 of those surveyed said reading about health benefits is long, complicated, and stressful. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And coming up, are you or a loved one off balance? It can be a serious issue that can lead to falls.
Find out about a new program that's helping people get back on track next.
Welcome back in. Great to have you here on WKYT. 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 65 falls every year, and falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries for older Americans.
And that's why St. Joseph Hospital is introducing a new program to help reduce the number of falls. With more, we're joined by Carrie Lucas, physical therapist, and Violet Morato, occupational therapist with Kentucky One Health Rehab Care. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Important thing to be discussing.
It really is. There's a new course starting next week that will help the elderly to deal with this, something that can cause really a lot of concerns and anxiety as well, right?
Right. There's a large fear of falling. So the 6-step balance class is something that we took a class on last spring, and we've just finished up our first session, and we'll be starting another one next session. We teach the clients the 6 steps of the balance, which is stretching in bed, certain balance activities to increase their balance and their strength in their legs. There's ball handling activities, dancing with a pillow, just simply walking and talking on the phone, and then the major component is the slump, which is where we actually teach them how to fall.
Violet, it doesn't sound like it's a difficult course, but can you see a big difference in patients when they start the program and when they finish up? Do they gain a lot of confidence?
That's the big thing that we notice, is that in the beginning, and fear of falling is so huge amongst anybody who has a susceptibility to falling. The fear is huge, and so towards the end they're more confident, they have their pamphlet, they're doing something every day that's going to work towards them preventing falls, and they feel comfortable in their environment.
I mean, part of it, bottom line is, it's conditioning, right?
Right.
To some extent, they need to do some exercises, and this is part of what you'll be teaching?
Absolutely. Right. So we have a balance system in our bodies, all of us do, and so we're training that balance system through exercises, so it helps to strengthen it for them.
And you can actually teach people the best way to fall, to make sure that they aren't injured when it happens.
It's called a slump, and they actually have a little saying that a stiff body breaks and a loose body bends. So the slump is actually teaching them how to fall with a loose body. So you teach them to do that over and over again throughout their daily routine, and then hopefully they won't have a fall, but if they were to have a fall, it's a more loose and safe fall.
Very important.
You're going to start this next Monday, October 10th, right, at the Beaumont Y.
That's correct.
Do they go for just the one session?
It's a 6-week class.
Okay.
It's every Monday, starting next Monday, runs from 1:30 to 2:30 for the next 6 weeks.
All right, and we have the information on the screen where people can get more information about it and sign up.
Right.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you all.
Coming next, if you're health conscious and you try to make good decisions when it comes to eating, you're going to want to listen up.
We'll tell you about a new business here in town focused on healthy and organic products. Stay with us.
WKYT's noon news hour continues. It's a grocery store that is focused on healthy and organic products. Fresh Time Farmers Market has now opened up here in Lexington.
We're joined by Greg Ham, the Director of Operations, to learn more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about Fresh Time, which is spelled like thyme, but it's time, right?
That is correct. So Fresh Time Farmers Market is a fast-growing retailer here in the United States. We're focused on healthy, natural, organic products in our store.
And so you're open now. Where can people find you?
We are located at Crossroads Plaza on 125 Reynolds Road here in Lexington.
And it looks like great stuff. Tell us what people are going to find at Fresh Time.
So at Fresh Time, we're really focused on fresh products, organic, natural produce offerings, etc. So I brought a few examples with us here today. In our store, you'll find a range of produce, and it's not all organic, however. It's a combination of conventional and organic, up to 250 varieties. We try to source as much product as we can from our regions here in the Midwest. So you'll find some items here from Wisconsin, you'll find some items from Michigan, as well as some other local ingredients that we have.
What other things do you have going on in the store there that kind of sets it apart from other stores?
Well, for us, the outside of our building looks truly like a farmer's market.
Yeah.
You come in and we really want to partner up with our local produce and our vendors here in the community, but we have a variety of other items in the store, over 1,200 gluten-free items. We have earth-based products for cleaning, as well as other items inside the store. Very large natural organic department, and our vitamins and body care, upwards of 9,000 items.
And you have a program called Cultivate Community. What's that about?
So tomorrow night from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. we're going to donate 5% of our sales to Food Chain, and what that'll do is give back to the community. It's a new program here in the Lexington area, and they will help educate folks on food and urban areas and growth and how to sustain.
Mm-hmm. When you go into a new market such as you have here, do you try to quickly, ascertain how well you're being accepted, and what are the early returns on that?
For us, it's very simply, it's the customer feedback, what we get. Our customers have been so receptive to us in the community, and what we'll do is we'll make the whole landscape more competitive.
So you're open for business now. All people need to do is come on out and check you out.
Open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week, and again, you'll also find a large variety of our private label items through the store as well.
All right.
Very
Don't
good.
Forget that special event tomorrow evening, 4 to 7.
4 to 7 p.m., yes, sir.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up shortly, The Young and the Restless, and we're going to also have
weather
here
first.
Right?
Yeah,
I
and
was
we're
getting
looking
there.
at 70 degrees there in Moorhead, 68 there in London. Now, we'll go through the rest of the afternoon. We can't rule out a sprinkle, but I would say 90% of us stay dry. So what we're going to be seeing the next few days, things really drying out and temperatures will rise. And they'll rise to roughly 80 degrees. And then the rain chance is possible there for Keeneland. Chris Bailey, he's going to be in here at 4 p.m. to get you updated.
All right, we thank you. The Young and the Restless is coming up next. We leave you now, though, with the music of this week's Wood Songs Kid, a 16-year-old student at Sayre right here in Lexington.
Here is Lissy Taylor, and we hope you enjoy. Have a good afternoon.